Hello everybody. Today I'm going to share about the queue or bridge of the Yik Kam SLT. Okay. Uh, what happened is I was discussing Wing Chun with many Wing Chun practitioners in Facebook group, and Sifu Win Yong of Hong Kong, who is from the snake and crane lineage, is there. So I told everybody if Sifu Win Yong send me a t-shirt of his lineage and school, I'm going to make a YouTube to share. And so what happened is Sifu Win sent his t-shirt for me, and from Hong Kong sent to California, San Jose. So I have to keep my promise to make this YouTube for sharing. I like this t-shirt a lot because it says snake crane Wing Chun. Okay, and for me, every Wing Chun is snake crane because as we all know, the legend is about the snake and the crane. Okay, so that's how I think, and also I think that all Wing Chun lineage can learn from each other. So sometimes I share, sometimes I learn from different lineages, and so I think this is a fun thing, okay, to compare notes and to learn from each other's different view and how things different. There's a lot of good thing can learn from other lineages. Okay, let's start with the bridge training in the Yik Kam Wing Chun Kin or Yik Kam SLT sets. Okay. Before that, I like to bring you guys on the human joints and so forth, okay, limbs and so forth, according to what I understand. Okay. So, say, as we know, the upper body consists of a few different joints. Okay, that is the finger, which is if you notice that, okay, the finger is you see this 1, 2, 3. This is the finger, and then there is a wrist. Okay, and then this is the elbow, and then this is the shoulder. This is the shoulder. Okay, and one more thing, there is the shoulder blade. Okay, I'm back here. Probably see this is better to show you that the shoulder blade. Okay, see this? Okay. So in order to handle the upper body properly, that means you need to handle the joints of the fingers, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and then the shoulder blade. Okay, and often in the Chinese traditional Chinese martial art, it referred to as this is the root part and this is the branch. It's like a tree, and this is the root and this is the branch. So to move the branch, one need to be able to handle the roots. Okay, and so I want I go through this so that we know we are in pace, in sync on what I'm talking about. Okay. So in Yik Kam SLT, okay, the first three writing in the first part is very important because it's it actually gives instructions of how to handle this arms or the roots and the branches. Okay. Before that, I want to tell you this. The reason why I always bring up, okay, the concrete say this, the concrete say that, is this. First, I am not Niao Sun, who is thought as the one who created the ceiling tile. And I'm not Yik Kam, okay? I'm just me, okay? So I have to refer to something that solid in the 1850s era, something like that, to say something. Otherwise, it's my idea, and I don't want to be confused with that. Okay, I will tell you if that's my idea. If this is from the Yik Kam teaching, and of course, for people who study the Yik Kam ceiling tile, they should follow the writing, not me. Okay. So I want to make that thing. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is what I understand from this writing. Okay, so I hope that everybody understood my point. Okay, now, so the first three stanza is very important. Okay, on how to handle this arm. So in Chinese, it says the first one says 手背边处很力劲. Okay, meaning that the arm whip up, okay, like the whipping, whip up the lateral change of force. Okay, in English we're saying this. Okay, and then the second it says 神迹指爪袖底旁. Okay, in English it says aware of your finger, your claw. Okay, claw is actually your palm. Can be your palm. Claw and palm is the same as finger and claw. Okay, so it says aware the finger, claw, and the side under your sleeves. The side under your sleeves. Okay, so the side under your sleeves have two things. Okay, so let's say again. Saying aware, the second stanza saying that aware of your finger, your claw or your palm, and under your sleeves, the sides under your sleeves. Okay? Now that's the second. The third one, the third stanza is say that 弦回自然顺脉气, or it said spinning and moving naturally accord to the flow of the meridians and the breathing. Okay. So again, the third one saying that spinning or rotating or moving naturally accord to the flow of the meridians, the chi meridians, and the breathing. Okay. Okay. So let me explain you this. The first stanza is saying that the hand is whip up, it's not hook up like you have a rod hook up. No, it's say whip up. Okay, whip meaning that all the joints has to be in the loose condition. So you whip up. It's not hook up. It's whip up. Okay. The second is say that pay attention to your finger, claw, and this part, okay, the under the sleeve part, which is your bridge actually, okay. And these under sleeves have two things you need to know. One is this bridge part, okay, and another one is the force change under the shoulder. Under the sleeves, okay. So in other words, that you have to pay attention to the finger, to the claw, to the palm, okay, and to this bridge. Have to be aware of that, okay. That's the second. The third one is saying that spinning, okay, naturally accord to the chi flow, the meridian flow, okay, which is in this case is a 3 yin, 3 yang, and the breathing because there's have to do with it, and so this is telling you that okay, in order to generate the force or the force change, you have to follow the nature, the nature with this, and the flow of the Jing and so forth. Okay. So the training of the bridge of this part of this Xiulin Tao part 1 and the rest of the Xiulin Tao actually is one has to aware of the finger, the claw, the palm, and the bridge all the time. Okay, that's how it was instructed. Okay, and of course, I have to follow all this qi and so forth stuff. Which is if we don't want to get into that, we just know that from this three chanda said in the physical layer, the way how to handle the joints, you need to be as a whip, not as a rod, as a solid rod, but as a whip. Okay. And the second thing is that it has to be aware of that part of the body. If you don't aware of the part of the body, then we are not developing. Okay. And the third thing is, of course, it has to be nature. Okay. So that is how the instructions is given. Okay. Okay. Now, with the first two sections, or the snake and crane sections of this Xiulin Tao, part 1, there is a different type of hand bridge handling. Okay, so the first section, the snake sections, okay, it's like this, right? I just do it simply. Okay. Okay. So all this, the first section actually consists of 3 basic type of hand bridge movement there. Okay, which is okay. The first is this. Okay, so this can be like that. Okay, and pay attention to this part. Okay, not hand only, but that part has to be aware too. Okay, so that's first type. So this is the first type of the bridge techniques. The second thing is this side, this part. So see how this thing roll. Okay, so if you don't pay attention to this one, just see this thing. Okay, don't pay attention to the bridge. There's the thing. Okay, there's another type. And then the third type is this type, where you have all this, both sides of the bridge. Okay, so from the first snake section, you have this type of stuff, the bridge hand. You have this type of stuff. Okay, and you have this type of stuff. Okay, so there's bridge hand. We're not talking about this hand. Okay, but this bridge here. So we call because this bridge hand can be used for contact and do certain things too. So we call it bridge hand, like using bridge like a hand. Okay, so that's how it is from the first part, the basic stuff. For the second thing, the second part, which is the crane part, is this. So you pay attention to my the bridge here. Okay, there's one type, and another type is usually is this type. Okay, because we normally do this. Okay, and this. So it's this type. Okay, so from these two sections, we know there's this type, 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 we know there's this type. Okay, 5 types. That's the basic. Okay, and usually people, if they don't pay attention or aware of that part of the hand, they end up doing something like this. Okay, or they just so they lost that part because they are not aware of it and they don't train it that way. Okay. Now, And of course, this one we have to link up with the thing I talked about just now about the branch and the root. Because to manipulate this bridge or this hand, one need to know how to handle. Okay. This total thing need to be handled from the root to the branch. It need to be handled. And often people saying that, oh, you need to do not have to, you need not to move this too much, cannot move this too much. Well, if you are you master this thing, then you don't have to move much. But if for the new practitioner beginner, you better move everything so that you know which part how the thing is handled. Otherwise, it is dead. It's like a rod, you know. And so what happens if it becomes the rod type? So if it's not aware of this and the root and so forth, and it will be only this punch type. Okay, in this distance. Okay, once people get crossed into this zone, inside zone, it's totally vacuum, it's totally open. Okay, but if one aware of this, then at every joint or every gate it was called has a defense offense or defense handling. Instead of just it's in the hand, okay, hand techniques, and once it go across this one, then totally is wiped. Okay, so that has to be aware of too. So the handle of the in Yik Kam Shooting Tao, the training of the bridge actually has linked to the roots, and also you need to aware of that. Okay, so that's how actually the Yik Kam Shooting Tao Part 1, okay, reveal the basic element of the bridge hands, okay, and in the Shooting Tao parts, okay. So people, when people train shooting, actually they train that part, and usually, like in my previous video on showing the Shooting Tao Part 1, there's many people ask me, am I do it so slow so that for explanatory purpose? Actually, it's not, because when I do that, I have to go through each joints or each bowls. Okay, it's not like just doing this. Okay, I have to go through. So that's why it's slow, because it has to aware of those areas, the change of all those areas. Okay, and of course, this thing, after you learn this and fluent with this in the sets, you're going to apply it where? Into the chi sao. Okay, into the chi sao. Okay. Now the Yik Kam Shooting Tao using the Hin Sao and the Kam Sao type of platform. So there's where all this using of the bridge has to be practiced there. Okay. So that's where the Chi Sao practice this type of elements. Now, if you don't know the elements in the sets, then in the Chi Sao, we don't know what to practice. And so usually it is introduced in the sets, the first two sections, the basic, and then in this one, in the Chi Sao, people experiment with it. Okay, because there's a need that is needed. And also, one other thing I need to, I can say here too. Sometimes we make mistake in the Yik Kam Chi Sao. Okay, in the Yik Kam, even though you're doing this Hin and this Kam type of Chi Sao, it always has to have a forward direct to the center line type of intention. It is not like doing this. Okay. or doing this. Okay, that's a different kind of art. In the Yik Kam, you're always doing this tracking because in the Wing Chun, as we know, you always have to track the center line. So even though it is this type of Chi Sao, the intention is always there. And one of the reasons is this: if I do this or do this, people can just zao sao or run away the hand, okay? Because they have feel no pressures or nothing to guard themselves. So, but if you do a Chi Sao in this way, where there's always an intention to the center line, keep it. So people will not not trying to run away from them because they have to guard themselves too. Okay. So there's one other thing. Normally, usually people we make mistake that we're just going like this. Okay. And in the real one is going like that. Okay. And of course you have to have your gate in the center line. Okay. And then you use that 5 types of manualing of the bridge. Practice that here. Okay. So this is how it is now. Of course, also in the Chi Sao, another thing too need to be mentioned that about the handling of the Jing or the force change on the bridge. So say if I have if my hand is here like this, if I draw a line here across my bridge center on the bridge side of line, okay. So what happens is that usually people think, oh, when he pushed me, I come back, I just come back, and then I push out. Okay. That actually, in the beginning, okay, that might be the case. But when one proceed further, develop further, actually, one must not go too far away from this line. Okay, say for example this line, right? If I go doing this, I just move away. If this is the line, and move away from the line, and then come back, okay, and attack or counter, absorb and attack. Okay, absorb or issue. Well, that is impractical in the real life. In the real life situations, in the proper way of is that this line, this hand, okay, if I have to draw a line here, must not move more than an inch. Okay? So if I take the force from my bridge, instead of going like that and then come back, going back 4 inch, 6 inch and come back, okay, which is usually we think, that is not proper. Because if you're going there, you lose ground already and you cannot recover. In the practical world, in the real life, that's not the way of doing it. So the way of doing it is, it has to be, if I draw this line here, it has to be this. You take within that 1 inch, and then it release. Okay. So instead of going like that and come back, you just at the point, at the spot, okay, say within 1 inch. Okay, just my way of saying that is your hand practically you don't want to move, okay, because you sense it right away, absorb, and then right away you issue instead of going back, because when you're going back, the whole momentum is already changed, okay, and most time you cannot recover. Okay. Same thing too when I take it with the body, because this is a hand, this is called bridge hand. Okay, bridge using as a hand. You can use body as a hand too. So the same thing is that if you're trying to do this and then force back, you will lose the ground. So it is from here, you take it and at that spot. Okay. So this is how it is in my understanding. Okay. So for your reference, it can be wrong and so forth. Okay. So this is how it is. So just now we go through that. Okay, in Yik Kam, Wing Chun Team, the lineage, the practice of Siu Lin Tao, you need to be aware of this part, and then you need to know how to handle this root and all this thing. Okay, all these joints, so that you train the bridge, and using bridge as a hand. And the second thing is that using you have to test it or experiment it in the chi sao. And then the third thing is that the line of action and reaction, or line of absorb and issuing, okay, must not move. Okay, the hand must not move away from the contact point about an inch or less than an inch. Okay, so there's three things, and so again, the chi sao has to have an idea of the focusing or intentions forward intention to the center line. Okay, so that's how the Yik Kam students are introduced and trained develop the bridge hand. There's no magic, no mysterious at all. It's to start with awareness and how to handle this different joints, and how to intend, and what is the proper way to accept and issue the force change. So this only like that, is nothing mysterious at all. And because of this, aware of each part and be able to manual each part, that one can handle different range of stuff. Otherwise, it's like after people cross this line, the fist or the wrist zone, then it is almost no gut there anymore. Okay. So this is the sharing for today. Thank you.